Hey guys, welcome to Sixthisoverdrive. I'm kind of making a video here about what you should look for in a motorcycle review, and especially on YouTube, because I've heard some pretty negative comments from people recently who ride their bikes for a long period of time and are talking that YouTube reviews aren't really reviews at all. So let's hear what I got to say about this after the music. Okay guys, welcome back. Hey, I've heard a lot of this about you can't get any feel from going on. A lot of manufacturers are offering rides nowadays where you ride in formation and you get to feel a motorbike. And a lot of guys are saying, oh, those are just garbage. You don't get a chance to go out and push the bike and so on and so forth. Let's dispel that notion right now. Okay. 95% of the riders out there, and especially here in Canada where everybody rides a cruiser, best way that you can look for a new bike and judge a bike is number one, first of all, we have traffic laws here and they're designed to protect the rider and they're designed to protect people. And any motorcycle that's manufactured today is pretty much capable of breaking those limits and causing danger to yourself and to others. Okay, so let's keep that in mind when we're reviewing a bike, because we're going to be doing it on public roads. Unless we are Cycle World or motorcycle.com, we usually don't have access to a motorcycle track, nor do we need one. Let's get back to that little cruiser point. Okay, so cruisers, obviously, I can go on a formation ride and I can scrape pegs on any cruiser on a formation ride. Now, all those pegs are there for is that bike's really not equipped to do much more than that corner. So you're pushing the bike to its limit. You're going through the corner, admittedly faster than most cars go through it. You're going too fast for the corner for that bike for road riding. Now, it's good to know that you have it, but when you're going to get a cruiser, they're all going to scrape pegs. What you want to do, though, is when you're buying a cruiser, you want to sit on the cruiser. You want to make sure that the seat feels good, all right? Because you're probably going long, straight distances on a cruiser, all right? Next, you want to check the handlebar reach. You want to see if that reach is comfortable for you. And you want to check the foot peg reach. Okay, and then you want to flat foot your feet on the ground and see if you feel comfortable balancing the bike in an intersection. That's truly what you need. Other than that, all you need to do is feel the power of the motor accelerating through maybe the first 3 gears, which you can do on any ride, and check to make sure there's no weird handling characteristics. The one that really gets me all the time is the FZ09 with its incompetent suspension. I ride a lot, okay? I ride to the point where I drag pegs on just about everything. Let me tell you something, the FZ09 was just fine and there's room for improvement by setting it up properly. Unless you're taking this thing to a track day, you probably don't need to have a custom suspension. Maybe if you're outweighing the bike or something like that, you might want to consider heavier spring rates or putting different springs into the shocks, but not what everybody thinks you're doing. If you're pushing this bike to that limit, where it's like that, you're dragging knees on basically a sport bike and you're causing a danger to yourself and others on a public road. So yes, same thing. On that bike, you can tell things. You can watch YouTube and get a lot of information about what kind of bike you want to ride. For instance, does the FZ09 have a horrible seat? Does the display package annoy you because it doesn't have certain elements, say like a gas gauge or a gear indicator? Do you have problems with the power delivery through those first 3 gears? Is the throttle play a little bit off? Do the clutch and brakes feel bad? You can tell all that by going posted limits, guys. So that's all you really need to know out of a YouTube review. Now, there's always, for those guys that do go on tracks and really push their bikes hard and break the speed limits on a regular basis and endanger other people's lives, there are reviews for that. They're called motorcycle.com and Cycle World and Cycle Canada. All those video reviews are way out on tracks and they just thrash the bikes. They're wheeling them. That's not for a public road, okay? But you can find out the information from those guys on how those bikes work on those reviews. Otherwise, come to YouTube and watch guys like me test the bike out in real world situations, with real world driving and how a real rider would ride. Because those guys, as much fun as they have pulling wheelies and dragging knees, they're way out of touch of to what the typical biker needs in a motorbike. They judge it all by which one got the fastest lap time. And we're talking, it could be a 500th of a second, and that's the bike that wins all the reviews. Okay? They're out of touch because that thing could ride like a bucket of bolts in town. The suspension might be way too hard for in town. The handlebar position could give you wrist cramps in a matter of minutes. The seat could be as hard as a rock. They don't take into account any of that stuff. Their adrenaline's pumping so high as they're racing down the racetrack, they're never going to find out about it. Okay? So you kind of have to balance what you're doing when you're buying a motorcycle. But by all means, watch the YouTube videos. They're great resources, and I mean absolutely fantastic. Most of these guys that get on these bikes have ridden more than just one bike. They're literally like myself. I've probably ridden about 75, 80 different bikes, new style bikes, that are in my channel below, that you can check out what I thought they felt like and what I was disappointed in and what I was happy with pricing and everything else, and how to price out the bikes. We give you all that information, and real world pricing, not MSRP pricing, not MSRP on the European bikes plus freight and prep, whereas you can get a bike with freight and prep included in a Japanese bike. That's a big difference. All right? So those are some of the common things that you can look for. I hope you do that, and maybe subscribe to my channel. Share, like, comment, and subscribe would be great if you really like what you see. But until next time, I'm telling you, don't believe everything you hear on YouTube. All right? This is Sixthisoverdrive, and I'm saying bye-bye.